Yay! Time for the best Castlevania game of all time. It is Dracula. Oh, no, I'm kidding. This is Dracula X on the Super Nintendo. I don't like this game that much at all, actually. It's kind of a step down from like every other 16-bit Castlevania game. Like, if this were on the Nintendo Entertainment System, I wouldn't mind, but since it's on the Super Nintendo, it's just kind of blah. And for it to be released in 1995, that was 4 years after Super Castlevania 4. Wow. Well, I'll be sure to go over why I don't like this game, because there's a lot. And I was considering skipping this game and going straight to Symphony of the Night, but this game is quick, it's relatively easy, I guess. I mean, there's still a lot of hard parts in it, but it's not that bad. At least difficulty-wise, it's not that bad. It's a very bland, vanilla Castlevania game in my opinion. The whip, well, for one thing, it's not multi-directional like it was in Castlevania 4, so that's a point off of that. But also, it feels even stiffer, if you could believe it or not. It feels even stiffer than the original Rondo of Blood version. There's a noticeable amount of wind-up by the time you press the button to when Ricther's attack is actually considered active. So you gotta plan well in advance. You still have the moonwalk from Rondo of Blood though. You hold down on the attack button and hold back on the D-pad so you can bust a move. I don't know how practical the moonwalk actually is in game, but it is fun to do on occasions. Freaking Medusa heads! It's only the first level and there are already fucking Medusa heads everywhere. What's going on? And that's why Medusa heads get the bad rap that they kinda don't deserve, but they do. It's because of this game. They come at double the rate in this game. You kill a Medusa head, there's another one right on its ass. Well, it's not even an ass, it's just the back of the head. But still, they're just like one on top of the other. If you play Rondo of Blood, you'll notice that the level set pieces are changed around slightly. Like this chase with the giant beast, and there is a giant beast behind me, I'm just running my ass off here. It's actually in level 2 of the Rondo of Blood version. I keep saying version, I gotta stop saying that. Rondo of Blood on the PC Engine and Dracula X on the Super Nintendo are two completely different games. And the Super Nintendo Dracula X game suffers from that because there's a lot of ambition put into the music and the graphics, but everything else is just kinda crap. Here's the first boss of the game. It's a multi-headed panther, and it's surprisingly tough. Here's what you do. You hit it, it takes a leap back, and then it shoots flames at you. When it leaps back for the fireball attack, you leap back too. There we go. You can still influence your jumps in midair, but it's not Castlevania 4 levels, it's I'd say Bloodlines, or the original Rondo of Blood, actually. It's more like that. I forgot that in Bloodlines you can change your facing but not change your direction in midair. Woo! You do not want to get caught up in the enemy's hitbox in this game. You have next to no iframes at all to speak of. And it's very annoying when a bat, of all things, can drain half your life bar in 2 seconds. Kind of reminds me of the original Turrican games. Anyways, time for the series-old tradition of doing a dramatic Castlevania Wait, you can't pose in this game? There's just a stupid results screen? What the fuck, Konami? That is literally the best part of any Castlevania game ever made. You just pause on a really badass or a stupid pose each time you beat a level. Such a great soundtrack! If there's one thing I would praise Castlevania Dracula X for, it's definitely the music, starting with my favorite rendition of Vampire Killer. The classic 3 tunes are back in full Super Nintendo glory for the second time in the franchise, and arguably better sounding than Castlevania 4 in that regard. The This is definitely way more upbeat than the previous Super Nintendo entry soundtrack, where it's mainly just low-key and eerie for the most part, with occasional upbeat tunes. The first level, or second level, this is technically the second level of the game, is a bit tricky. Why did I pause there? Oh, wait, I think I was checking my lives or something, I don't know. The axe armor makes a reappearance in this game, and they are still just as susceptible to the holy water in this game. Yeah, look at that damage. The holy water in this game is surprisingly good, just like in the 8-bit titles. I know in Super Castlevania 4 and in Bloodlines they were kind of nerfed, but in this game they work just fine. They do move forward though, so you gotta time your holy water throw with, like when the enemy moves and stuff. Now these guys are freaking annoying. You see how these guys are holding out their lances? That's technically a hitbox. If you get too close to it, you'll get damaged, even if it looks like you shouldn't have. And the level design in this game loves to put these lance armors in hard to reach places where I can't attack them so conveniently. See, like right there, I got hit by the guy on the second floor. What did I get hit by? Was it the lance or was it the armor? Or should I have just gone through that with no issue, since technically I'm not on the same playing field as him? Oh, this is just one of many things that is so janky about this game. Dracula X, that's what this game shall be called from now on. Now, the lance armors also have that giant slash attack. You could just backflip over them with no problem. A simple back jump will also do too, but you'll gain more ground with the backflip. Also, why is Dracula's foyer area a purple lilac color instead of the usual red and white? Seems like an odd design choice on their part. That color scheme would probably work in another game like Bloodstain or something, or maybe even one of the older Castlevania games like Castlevania 3 or something. Just not this game though. No, I want the axe. I want the axe. There we go. Yeah, one of the good things that was carried over from Rondo of Blood, whenever you pick up a weapon, the weapons just kind of swap out and fall on the floor. So if you ever feel like changing your mind, you can do so. This boss is either really simple or really freaking annoying. It depends on what pattern you get and whether or not you get caught up in the enemy sprite or not. The bat will split into many tiny bats every time you hit it, and it will make a beeline towards you. So you gotta master the backflip here. You tap the jump button twice in order to do the backflip. It's really finicky in this game, so you gotta time it perfectly. Sometimes Ricther will do the move just fine, other times he will just jump into the air like a moron. It also helps if you have axes for this fight. Yeah! Ow! Oh yeah, desperation attacks are back from Rondo. I didn't necessarily like the random fuck you attacks from Rondo of Blood neither, so I'm not taking a point off of this game. Onward to stage 3, and if there's anything I can take away from Castlevania Dracula X, it's that this game is really freaking short. It's only 7 stages. There are alternate stages and different pathways to take, but it's honestly not even that deep. And if you're wondering if you get any secondary characters in this game to switch to, nope, no Maria. She's not in the game. Well, she is in the game and you can rescue her, but you can't play as her. This game doesn't even let you play as the best Castlevania character of all time. You have to wait one more game to play as Alucard. What, you thought I was talking about Maria? No, I'm kidding. You do get an option to play as Maria again in Symphony of the Night, but you have to play certain versions of the game in order to get that option, and you have to beat the game in order to unlock Maria in the first place. Which reminds me, I am definitely looking forward to actually playing Symphony of the Night for the channel. I'm dead serious. I was checking my back catalog and thinking to myself, why am I so reluctant to just hit record on Symphony of the Night, even though it's my favorite game of all time? The answer to that is, I honestly think Symphony of the Night is not just a game, it is an art form in its full glory. And I think the same could be said about most of the Metroidvanias on the GBA. I know Circle of the Moon gets a lot of hate, but I love that game too. Harmony of Dissonance? honestly, I think that's probably the most overrated Castlevania game, but I like that game too, strangely enough. And I definitely love Aria of Sorrow. I think that's my second favorite Metroidvania after Symphony of the Night. And this freaking guy... Well, see what I said about bad placement? Like, what is this? He's just barely out of range for my firebombs to actually connect. It's kind of annoying. And I can't throw the firebombs downstairs while I'm up the stairs because you have to press up and attack in order to activate the holy water. It's just, what the fuck happened here? I'm going to make another obligatory Castlevania 4 reference. In that game, at least you had the R button. That way you can actually activate your weapons without going up the damn stairs. And yes, it's probably my fault for overthinking things here, because I'm an over-analytical fuck, but still, this guy's just... die! Thank you. I swear, this game is just the biggest bowl of mediocrity out there. And if it's not mediocre, it's just trying to frustrate you. Like this part, which is a reference to the original Castlevania game. I think it was stage 3 or 4. It was like midway through that game. But you have to duck underneath these spikes in order to not get crushed. Or, well, you can't die from crushing in this game, but you can get knocked off into the water. And that's also frustrating. Oh, jeez, that was close. Damn it! Oh, that was an epic fail right there. And I died 2 more times in this stage alone. The candle on the lower floor will always have an urn in it. That will grant you temporary invincibility. It's not enough time to get over the chasm, but it's something, I guess. And also these bats come like every millisecond. What's going on here? You know what I'm thinking? I think Batman is on his way to fight Dracula 2. Yes, that was an actual movie. And I watched it. And I think that movie is actually way better than it has any right to be. If a Belmont's not readily available, why not just call Bruce Wayne, am I right? I mean, he knows a thing or two about vampire hunting. Because Bruce Wayne knows everything. Anyway, back to the game. Whenever you feel like you're about to take a cheap hit, you can duck and take the hit anyway and you won't get thrown back. You'll just kind of flinch in place a little bit. It's not guaranteed to work all the time because there will be larger enemies later on that will knock you about a whole football field. So you gotta watch out for those guys. Fuck you, Axe Armor! Oh, stupid shield. The item crashes are back from Rondo of Blood and they're still just the same as they were in that game. Ricther can still throw 1,000 knives, he still has the biblical flood that's known as the Hydro Storm. And, I forgot what his cross move was, but it's basically the same as it was in Rondo of Blood 2. And this part is absolute hell. But at least you don't die if you fall down here, you just get taken to a different level. But I'm trying not to fall here because I kind of want to get the good ending, and, yep, bad ending. I got the bad ending. Alternate Stage 4. This is where the game gets tough. The Underground Cavern, home of the Mudman and a shit ton of bats. Now there's quicksand here, or mud, or whatever that's supposed to be. You don't want to stay in there for too long, because if you fall below a certain point, you'll just sink in there immediately and die. And that skeleton just committed suicide. Oh, he did too! What is going on? The Mudmen will appear in the quicksand areas, and they're not that big a deal if you're not stuck down there. This is probably my favorite track in the whole entire game. Actually, no, wait, no. It's the last level of the game. That's my favorite track in the game. But this comes close. And this sounds even better than the CD version. I don't know how Konami managed to do that, but they did it somehow. And something about these bats, you cannot kill them while they're perched. You can only hit them while they're flying at you. I think that's really dumb. In any other Castlevania game, you can kill the bats at any time you want, but in this particular one, you cannot kill them when they're most vulnerable. That is fucking lame. fucking lame. And I'm stuck down here. Let me out. Freaking Mudman. I came down here for the extra hearts and money bags, but I don't really need the stuff. It's not like I'm buying characters or something. It's just points. You don't even need points in the Castlevania game like this. It's like, what am I doing here? Are there even points in this game? Oh wait, actually now that I think about it, you do get extra lives through points, so maybe there is a point to the point system. A point to the point system. Wow, that's redundancy and a half. Oh, Ricther! I know you like fighting monsters, but please don't express your pleasure that openly. This game, kind of like Castlevania 4, except not to that extent, was censored for the American audience. And it's a strange sort of censoring too, it's just the blood and that's it. And it's weird because the blood coincidentally looks even more sketchy in this version of the game. Why did they go with white? Why couldn't they just color it differently if they were going to go that route? Metal Slug did that too on the PlayStation. I don't know why they went with a white color. You know what I'm getting at. This guy makes a return in Rondo of Blood, and he's equally as annoying in that game as in this game too, because look, he's freaking nimble for a guy his size. You know what? I'm not fighting you anymore. You suck. I'm running away. Jerk. Oh, these guys make a return, and they are just as— oh, god damn it. I'm not even sure if Ricther's going to have the fluids needed to have children. This is not a kid's channel. Anyway, if you can kill this guy, good, but if you can't, just run away, because he'll make a large jump like that, and that's your cue to GTFO. I'm not dealing with this today. And you can also run away from this guy too, and I recommend it because he's kind of a pain. Where are you going? I just want to play Burn the Belmont. Alright, this is the final section of Stage 4, alternate Stage 4. And you have to be careful of the quicksand and, oh hey, I guess you can actually sink into the quicksand more than I thought you did. Oh, that's strange. You gotta be careful of the spikes and the quicksand. Good thing is you can't die instantly from spikes. That is a concept long gone. And the only instance where I'm going to give this game a point over Super Castlevania 4. Wow, that made me ill just saying that. Yeah, in that game you die instantly whenever you touch a spike. Here's the boss of Stage 4. As soon as I move the screen along. It's a strange guy. It's not Death or Shaft, so I don't know who this is supposed to be. Anyway, his attacks are relatively easy to dodge, but what you gotta watch out for are the enemies he spawns. And whenever you do get hit, you'll essentially get cursed, and what that entails is you slow down a lot. And you also have this sickly green color to your character sprite. It doesn't last long though, so just keep hitting him with the knives if you have knives available. Every time you hit him, he just hops back and forth like he doesn't know what to do with his life. I don't know what side of the screen I want to be on. This version of Guy, Phase 2, is not that much harder. He throws tombstones at you, and that's pretty much it. No, seriously, he throws tombstones at you. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. You also got these mummies who will appear at the bottom of the screen. You gotta watch out for them. And also, this guy won't jump back and forth every time you hit him anymore. Gotcha, bitch. Ow! Jesus Christ. It's a good thing these desperation attacks don't actually kill you. But that's going to be the end of part 1 of Dracula X. Stay tuned for the second and final part where we take the fight to Dracula. For the last time of the 16-bit era. For reals this time.